In this video, we're going to look at question number 5. At the 0.05 level, test the significant partial coefficient for x3, and then write down 4 steps. Do you think the age of the home will significantly affect the house price? So why I can, based on the hypothesis testing here, to know the relationship between the age. Because if you look at x3 is the age of the house. So the 5, we'll look at the t-test. So remember in the lecture, I talked about f-test, you're testing the model as overall, as a whole. But for the t-test, you are able to test individual x variables to see which one actually help you to predicting your y variables, right? So therefore, here in this question number 5, we're teasing out one of variable I want to test out, which is my age. So that's why I said, what is the t-test for the B3, okay, B3. So first of all, how you have to get in this regression output. If you don't have this output yet, you need to watch the very beginning of the lecture to learn how to get in this regression output. So if you have this output, our goal here is to identify where is the p-value you can use to do the individual t-test. Okay, so it is coming from my third table here. Remember, in the third table, we are able to identify my regression equation. Also, in the third table here, we are able to identify the p-value that we will use to do the t-test to test out individual variables. Okay, so basically, in my second row here, so first of all, the first row, we do have the p-value. So this p-value is testing out my intercept, whether they are significant or not. And then correspondingly, the second row here, the p-value here, is used to test the significance of my B1, basically to look at the relationship between x1 and my y variable. And then the third row here, 0.5898. So this is the p-value we will use to test out the significant relationship between the bedroom and the house price. So and you can understand the rest of the p-value, right? So here is where we find the p-value for the t-test. I use a plural because for every model, you should have many t-tests, right? Because you have many x variables. So for this specific question, I just try to save you guys some time. Instead of testing every of the coefficient, I'm teasing out one of them, which is my age. So this is the one I will use to test out age. Okay, my p-value we will use to test out age of the house is here, corresponding to this row, right? P-value. Now I can start to set up my 4 steps. Step number 1, write down your hypothesis, right? Step number 1 for HO, since we are testing, this is the X3, right? So we are testing B3, B3 equal to 0. And the H alternative will be B3 not equal to 0. Step number 2, what is the p-value? We just learned where to find the p-value. So the p-value in this case is equal to, let me go back, 0.7557. Okay, 0.7557. Step number 3, my rejection rule, right? Rejection rule are exactly the same. If p-value smaller than 0.05, we will reject HO. So the reason I know the p-value is more than 0.05, where I got the threshold, because when I read in the question, I realized that it's at the 0.05 level. So that is the threshold I'm comparing with. So that is a 0.05. If the p-value is more than 0.05, we reject HO. And the last step, step number 4, my decision and the conclusion, right? Similarly as my f-test before. So for this case, since my p-value is larger than 0.05, right? It's 0.755. So we are actually cannot reject HO, right? This is how, when we can, but this value is larger than 0.05. So since p-value is larger than 0.05, we cannot reject HO. Therefore, we conclude that the age of the house has the age of the house, does not have a significant relationship with my house price. Okay, so since we cannot reject, so therefore the relationship between my house and this x3, which is the age, has no significant relationship. So you cannot reject, actually leading to you just found this variable is not used for. Again, if you do not know why you cannot reject leading to not significant, please watch the lecture video where I give you more detail in terms of why you cannot reject, and you have to conclude that the relationship is not significant. Okay, so basically if you look at this model, okay, my intercept is significant, but like I said, usually it doesn't matter. The most important one are the p-value related to your x variables. So your x1 is significant because it's more than 0.05, so the square footage of heated floor affecting your housing price. The bedroom, number of the bedroom, the age of the house, whether the location at the area or not, are actually had no significant impact on the housing prices. Okay, so the only one had a significant housing impact on the housing price is the square footage of your heated floor, and also whether the house is located at Dallas or not. Okay, so that's the only two p-value are smaller than 0.05. So that means in this model, we only have two variables that are significantly affecting your y variables. Okay, so this is the end of this video to help you understand how to address in question number 5.